history is repeating itself because it's like Gen 3 all over again. Only this time, there's internet and the vocal minority is being heard. Let's get into it. So yeah, unless you know absolutely nothing about me, you know that I love Pokemon Gen 3 is my favorite gen. But at the same time, you also know that Gen 3 is responsible for doing the first game that did what basically Sword and Shield is doing now, getting rid of Pokemon. That's right. People don't like their beloved Pokemon gotten rid of, especially their favorites. Speaking of favorites, you know who was not in Gen 3 initially? This guy, Eevee. Which means this guy, Umbreon, also could not have been in there. So, naturally you would think I'd be outraged and upset and hated. And you're right, I was. I was upset, I was outraged, I hated it. I was saying all the stuff that people were saying now, like, I remember, and it was me and my group of friends that went around, was like, oh, double battles? Why we need 2 Pokemon at once? That's ridiculous. Abilities, that's going to break the meta game. Like, we had all these same type of just afraid of change type of things that people are saying now about Sword and Shield. So, yeah, they got rid of the, you know, the ones you grew up with, the Eevees and the Umbreons. Because at this point, you know, Gen 1, this is my favorite. Gen 2, he's still my favorite, but then this guy showed up and he was my favorite. So I was waiting for Gen 3 to have another favorite Eevee, and I'm like, Eevee's not in the game? So the National Dex thing, not really a big problem, because the whole point of playing a new Pokemon game is to get a new experience. It means you get a new region, new Pokemon, new rules, new things, new gameplay mechanics. That's supposed to be the main reason. But I feel like people are just upset because they don't have the National Pokedex and they want to bring over all their old ones and just keep using them. And then they would end up ignoring some of the new ones. Meanwhile, people like me will fight with a whipped cream Pokemon like Alacream or a pot of tea like Poti, guys, because I like that. That looks pretty cool. But I think people just need to calm down. Like, I'm convinced, since I lived through that. See, a lot of the people who are making this noise are like the younger crowd that probably didn't live through Gen 3 and don't remember. But I remember I lived through that, and I was not freaking out like they are. They're like, oh, National Pokedex is never coming back. Even though Eevee was not in Gen 3, and it was revealed that they actually were trying to reboot this series at one point, and they probably weren't going to bring them back at one point. They're actually going to reboot it and actually kick some out, probably. There was a theory that they were going to reboot it and just that Pokedex was supposed to be what they were going to use going forward. But about 2 years or 3 years afterwards, we finally got Fire Red, Leaf Green, and then we got back our Eevee. Got back our Umbreon because they released Fire Red, Leaf Green, which were remakes. Is when they first started doing the remakes. So what's to say that they're not going to do some kind of remake or release where you can get the Pokemon you don't have in Sword and Shield for Sword and Shield? I mean, the game's not even out yet as of the recording of this video. It's not out yet. It'll be out the day after this video, but it's not out yet, and they're already complaining. We don't know what they're going to do 1 year from now. We don't know what they're going to do 2 years from now. What we do know is that they're releasing the app Pokemon Home. Now, why would they release an app for you to hold all your Pokemon in if they have no intention of you ever getting them back in any game ever? So even though they're not in this one, it's not to say they can't be in another one. And then, people, it's 2019. There's patches. Yeah, they don't have it now, but you could always patch a game and update it to add more people and more Pokemon and more everything into it. So they could always potentially do that to add the National Dex from patching it. But complaining is not going to make them add it any faster. I feel like we should all just enjoy the Galar region for what it is. The Galar region, which is a new region with new Pokemon, new ways to play. That's what we're playing Pokemon for. At least that's what I'm playing it for. Because I put my competitive days behind me. And even if I did want to do competitive, it seems pretty good for competitive too. So until next time, this is AW Baller for the Nintelligent Podcast saying, be you, be true, be human. And remember, fans, utashi wa nato ashite. Mwah.